Hi you guys. It's Hannah. I am the creator of this page. It's just been like really crazy here lately. First off, I'm gonna go ahead and address a couple of things. We are actually in my living room right now. Um, so it's kind of just bare. We've been trying to get rid of all of the Yule decorations and we're trying to put up everything ready for Litha and trying to get the house pretty much ready. Also, your counter popped up on my fireplace because I don't have anything else to use. I don't have a tripod or anything. Going to eventually probably get one of those to help me out. But um, I was going to talk about some of the stuff that I've been wanting to talk about. So the first thing is that I'm pretty sure you've noticed that like I've posted videos in the past and then those aren't there anymore. There are reasons behind it, and we can address those in this video. I think that's kind of like what we're wanting to do. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of just kind of hard to really explain because I'm not sure exactly who all watches these. I'm not sure who all of the subscribers are. I don't have very many. I'm fully aware, but people still do watch them. So first things first. I'm a what's the easiest way to put it? I'm a 26-year-old woman. I live in Louisiana. I was born and raised here. I grew up in a totally different home, religion, mindset than what I am now. And that's probably like not uncommon whenever you hear people who are pagan, people who practice witchcraft, people who identify as Wiccan, because like they're like, oh, like yeah, y'all left Christianity for that kind of thing. I left for multiple reasons, and it was not because I wanted to just be one of those rebellious teenagers who was like, oh, like witchcraft this and witchcraft that. Because whenever I was growing up as a preteen and into my early teens, the emo punk scenic was like the thing then. So, also another thing, I'm sorry, I don't have no makeup on today. It's just been one of those days. We've been, like I said, we've been so busy. So, of course, like I don't look exactly, I guess, presentable, like what some people would consider presentable. So, this is the best you get. So, but I'm 26. I am married. I've been married for almost 7 years. And I also have a fiance, and we've been together for almost 4 years. Now, people are probably like, how can that happen? Well, it's very simple. Me and my husband are actually going to be getting a divorce. That is for our personal reasons and our reasons alone. And then me and my long-term boyfriend, who proposed to me in October of this year, we're going to be getting married in January of 2022. And it just works out better for us that way. Now, is my husband still going to be a part of my life? Yes. Is he still going to live with me? I'm pretty sure. And there's multiple reasons for that. First things first is that our daughter lives with me majority of the time. Because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't work. I don't go out very often. I don't leave my house very often. I stay home majority of the time. So she stays with me majority of the time. So Caleb will be living with us. He will also still continue to financially support us. He will still continue to pretty much consider me his wife, just like I will consider him my husband. Our marriage, just like a lot of people, whenever we got married, we just got married because like I was pregnant and we just wanted Lily to have like two parents who loved her, no matter what, and which obviously she does. And then as time has progressed, we've realized that like we're better off more as like really, really extremely close friends than we are of actually being spouses. And which we can explain that later on, and I can probably explain that with him. Probably never. He probably would never want to do this. But I could probably explain that in a different video, because there's probably like a lot of questions. There's probably like a lot of things that I'm not going to get into on this video. But needless to say, Caleb actually pretty much handpicked my boyfriend, and who is actually my fiance now. He pretty much handpicked him. They worked together. He was like, hey, like, my wife is single, and like, you should totally hit her up. You should be like with her. You should date her. She's pretty cool, that kind of stuff. We weren't actually planning on being together, and then it actually did kind of just turned into that. So it's kind of like a happy coincidence, kind of, I guess is a way to put it. Justin's like right there. So that's why I keep looking over there, because I'm kind of talking to him in the process too. But needless to say, I live in Louisiana. So when you hear like Louisiana, you think automatically like the Bible Belt, like strict Christianity. Like your neighbors know everything, and because I live in like a small town, and that's not wrong. Like, it's completely and utterly true. Absolutely true. So, it was really hard for us to come out as a polyamorous couple, because, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people already knew, but it was one of those, like, taboo things. It wasn't really, like, fully heard of, especially down here. So, it took us a little while to be fully comfortable with coming out and being that way. Now, like, our really close friends knew. I'm pretty sure, like, most of our parents knew. So that wasn't, like, a huge deal to them. Granted, like, I have two sets of parents. I have an adoptive side and I have a biological side. My biological side was more supportive than my adoptive side, even to this day. It's like, comments will be made like, oh, I love you and your spouse, so you know I'm going to take care of you and your spouse. Well, technically my spouse is Caleb. That is my husband. I still carry his last name. That is my spouse legally. But the person I more hang out with and go places with is Justin. But the reasons for that is that, you know, me and Justin, we kind of have like the same mindset. We think and view things a lot the same. We work together really, really well. Caleb, on the other hand, is one of those people who just like don't care. He's like, whatever you want to do, whatever, you know, like I'm chill, like don't bring me into it, that kind of stuff. And Justin's not. So I go more places with Justin. That way, like, if there's a decision that needs to get made, I can actually rely on him to help make that decision with me. So that's why we do that. Another thing is that my daughter considers both of them her dad. She knows Caleb is her dad. But she also knows Justin is her dad too, because Justin came into Lily's life whenever she was 2, almost 2. And he's been there since day one. There have been a lot of up and downs with Caleb and Lily already, because like his work hours, and then he, like I said, he was a young dad, and he was never really, I guess, fully informed on what it's like to be a part of your child's life every step of the way. And I thought we had already discussed that while I was pregnant with Lily still, but apparently we didn't fully. That could be on me and him. It could be miscommunication between me and him. I really doubt that. But we're going to try to put it as nicely as we can. So Justin does a lot more with her. So she likes to do a lot more bonding things with Justin, but she loves both of her dads equally. She spends time with them equally. It's just like if she's going to get tucked into bed, she asks for her daddy Justin. She wants a book read to her, she'll go to Justin. It's just one of those things, because like she's done like this trial and error where she's like, I'll go to Daddy Caleb and I'll ask him, and he'll be like, no, not right now. And she's like, well, I know who won't turn me down. So, but not like trying to like cause like any negativity towards him. It's just that she could have either went to him like at a really busy time, he could have been preoccupied with something else, or he could have just not wanted to. It's like this, I don't know. I'm sure parents out there can even say, even for like moms, like you can be super busy and you're like, your kid come up to you and be like, hey mom, can you do this? And you're like, no, not really. And they'll turn around and go to a different parent and go and do it. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, like you're busy or you just don't want to, I will go find someone who will. So that's kind of like what happens there. She knows that Daddy Caleb won't really like go out of his comfort zone to do things he's not comfortable doing, which is kind of crazy saying because that's your kid. But even like parents, even dads have trouble bonding with their children, and I think that is one thing that Caleb and Lily have a lot of conflict on, is that they're not really bonded with each other as closely as like me and her or her and Justin. So that could be something they could work on later on in the future together. But we do not identify as anything else. We are a polyamorous couple. If you see two of us, sometimes the third one's there, depending on work hours. If you see all three of us there, I have never once denied either one of them. They have always been a part of my life. I am more than proud to announce that I have a husband and I have a fiance, or I'll have two husbands. It's just whatever is easier to explain. We get common questions that sometimes could be a little pushy, like why would you need to know this information? But also in the same instance, like I understand why you're asking, because like monogamous couples, or what you're taught growing up as children, and whenever you hear like, oh, y'all all live together, like it's kind of like you're going to get these questions. So I understand, and I don't mind answering them, but it gets kind of annoying whenever it constantly starts repeating itself. Like no one's ever interested in anything else. They're always just interested in the really personal questions, I guess is the easiest way to explain that. But like I said, I can explain that in a whole different video, because I can go on and on about it, because I never knew any polyamorous couples growing up, in which that could be my parents' fault. That could be their fault, and them not educating me in that this can happen. Them not wanting to tell me that these are possibilities. That's their fault, 100%. I blame them on that, because it should be their responsibility to be like, hey, you know, just because like we don't do it doesn't mean that you're not going to come in contact with people who do, and this is how you handled that situation. Another thing is that I am pansexual. I do not care about like looks per se. I don't care about if you were born a man and you became a woman, or you were born a woman and you became a man. I don't care about that. I don't care about if you're gender fluid or any of that. I will respect you no matter what. If you tell me your pronouns are them and they, I will do that. If you tell me your pronouns are he or him or she and her or whatever, I will truly call you what you want to be called. And if I can't remember your pronouns, and I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm one of those ignorant people. I'm a mom. I have mom brain. There are even times where I even forget my own name. Okay? So I will ask you again, like what your name is, or I will just automatically assume that it's they and them. I just will. There have been multiple times where I will be like they, referring to one person, because I don't want to make that mistake. I also connect with people more on an intellectual level. I like having full conversations with someone. I don't really care for the PDA. I don't care for the clinginess. I'm not much for someone who is constantly all over their person, all over their spouse. To each their own. I won't lie. There's moments when I am like that, where I'm like, give me all your love, all your attention. And then there's times where it's like, I'm okay, let's keep a distance. Like, I love you. Like, we can just show our affection verbally. And also, whenever I speak about intellectual conversations, I don't care for, like, a lot of childish stuff. I'm not much for gossip. I like to actually talk about, like, your work. I like to talk about your day, how you perceive things. I like having deeper conversations that let me know what type of personality you have, what type of mindset you have, how you view the world, because how you view the world may not be how I view the world, and it will either help me either learn something, you learn something, or it can also help realize that, okay, we're not compatible in no way whatsoever. And it's easier just learn it through a conversation than it is to just be like, oh, you're cute too. It kind of just makes it easier on me that way. Also, I am working on 3 years of being a brand rep for a fantastic company. It is called Chonda's Cutesy Creations. She is based in Mississippi. She is a small business. She works from home. She's a mom, so she works around her children's schedules with school and other activities that they have. And she is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It doesn't matter if you have daughters, doesn't matter if you have sons, doesn't matter if you even have dogs. She will find a way to make whatever you want and get it to you at a reasonable time. And it's a really great price. So I actually have an unboxing on my channel right now from her. Excuse me. And it is like one of my favorite unboxings that I've ever done at all. I have actually previously done one on there and I've deleted it because it didn't really turn out the way that I wanted to. And then plus either ex-girlfriends, people who aren't a part of our lives anymore, ex-boyfriends were included on the videos, and I didn't want to have them on there anymore. I didn't need to have questions. I'm not very good with just like blasting that kind of information out there, and so it's just easier for me to delete it. And then like if I have to, I will re-record and upload it with either just me or me and Justin or something. You know, it'll be a lot easier that way. So I actually have an unboxing that I'm going to do probably later this weekend. I'm actually either waiting for my daughter to come back home so that I can get those shirts that I sent with her, or we are actually in the middle of washing clothes, and I know some of the shirts that I wore and they got dirty. So I will do another unboxing of what I got in. And then I will do a complete overhaul of what I have now, minus the items that I have either already gifted to people or I have given away because Lily's outgrown them, or just items that like either got tore up and I don't have anymore, because that happens. It absolutely happens. I have puppies and I have a 5-year-old. Things get tore up. It happens. So, but I will say it's been one of the greatest accomplishments that I've done for the past 3 years. I never thought I would be able to make it through 1 year, because I was like, oh my God, after a year of buying so many bows and buying so many shirts and hoodies and stuff, what else would you need? Like, you would be able to get everything in a year. Well, your daughter grows up, your children grow up, or you change your style, or you like, okay, like let's, buy more graphic tees, or like, I really love this saying, or I need a memorial shirt or something. It's been like one of the greatest things. And then plus on top of that, like, great for birthday gifts. They're great for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Yule. They're great for anything. And she is great on a timeline. And if you order like first of the month, you're like, hey, I need it like by mid-month, if you automatically pay her, she will work on your order and get it to you. I've never seen any complaints from anybody ever. Ever. And if there has been a complaint, that person was like probably either just extremely picky, or just there was like not the communication that there normally is, because Chondas is really good about being on point. She's really good about being hey, like, is this what you want? Is this the color that you want? Is this the color vinyl that you want? Do you want it subline? Like, she's really good about making sure she gets things done. So please check out that video. Please hit her up. She is on Facebook. She has her whole entire complete page. It's Chondas Cutesies Creations. I think I have her linked in the video that I did last time. There's 2 parts to it. And use my discount code. It's Lily10. And just be like, hey, like, I need to order this stuff. And she's really great. She's really good. She's super fast. Bows are immaculate. Shirts are immaculate. Everything is just beyond amazing. Beyond amazing. Lastly, I would like to talk about I updated my description of my page of this YouTube channel. And I did it for a reason. One, no one told me that my last description was just absolutely horrible. And then secondly, we actually bought this house this year. And I plan on being more active on my page than what I have been previously. We looked for over a year to buy a home. And we finally found the perfect home for us. It's the perfect space. It has enough rooms. We have a lot of dogs, and we're like bigger people, and we like to have all of our own like areas. We don't really tend to really hang out with each other a lot at home unless we're playing a board game or watching a movie, which is like extremely rare nowadays. So a bigger home was definitely necessary. And so it took us forever to find the right place. And so whenever we found this place, me and Justin talked, and we were like, yes, this is right. This is the home that we need to be in. This feels like home. Like, whenever we pulled up, I started crying and I was like, this is it. This is the house. This is the house that we need. So, it's absolutely beautiful, and I do plan on probably next week or so doing a home tour, because we really don't have that much more left. We've been doing a ton of remodeling in the house. Not that it like really needed it, just a lot of things were outdated, and we don't have the rustic farmhouse idea of decorating. Minus our living room. Our living room is actually pretty rustic, because we, as you can see, we have wooden beams on our ceiling. So you can't really get around that very easily. But as far as everything else, we have pretty much tried to update the best that we can. So, and who says like it may change later on down the road, but so far right now we're loving everything. And then plus on top of that, like, it never hurts to put your own like feel into your own place, into your own home. You kind of need that. And that is something that I wholeheartedly believe, and that I practice daily in my meditations and in my energy work that I do, is that you have to focus on like your positivity and putting yourself into your space, and your home is your space. So, I feel like I've just been rambling on, but I know that I really haven't. I've been trying to hit all the key points. I guess, let's do this. If you have any questions, you have any comments, please comment below. I will work on trying to figure out what I will do next. We actually don't have a whole lot planned for this following new year. We have like a couple of things we're going to do, but not really a whole lot. Cause like we don't really celebrate it. So, I guess if nothing happens between now and that point, I may do another video and try to explain more details, like explaining like who was involved in the videos that I took down, and why all of a sudden the drastic change. And one key factor I would like to extremely point out is that I have a daughter. You will hear about her. You may even hear her sometimes in the background, but you will never see her. For the simple fact of, one, I don't believe she's old enough to be broadcasted on video to the public. Now, I have social medias, and my family and my really close friends follow me on social media. I don't accept just random friend requests, and I do a background check on almost everybody. I make sure that you're a real person and that kind of stuff. So people on there do get to see my children, but they don't, like, they're not like crazy people. Let's put it that way. So, we kind of just tend to really try to keep Lily out of this until she's old enough. Now, that may change within the next year or so, because she is getting older. She is understanding a lot of stuff, and of course, like, the world is changing. So that may change. She might start making an appearance every now and then. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk to her dads about it. I'm going to get other people's opinions on it and see what we can do as far as that, because she loves interacting with people, and she loves, like, opening, like, toys and blind bags and that kind of thing. And she has already came to me once talking about the possibility of doing that. So, who knows? You may get to see her, but for right now, you're not going to be able to at all. And I hate to say it. But that's really it for right now. If you have any questions, any concerns, any comments, comment below. I will answer them, or I will write them down for me to answer in like a day or two. So, anyways, I hope you like it. And I guess that's it. Bye.